Welcome back to another episode of the Pax What She Said podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Maggie Loney, joined as always by Perri Goldstein. We are live for the very first time all season. Hello, welcome
Hello.
in. The 9-3-1 Packers enjoying a victory lap of a glorious victory at Lambeau Field against the Bears, dropping them from first place all the way to 7th in the NFC playoff picture. Perri, how'd you enjoy the game?
I very much enjoyed it. I love seeing the Packers beat the Bears. No, it was a good game. We knew it was going to be closer than we wanted it to be, and it really came down to the end, didn't it? And I just like this Packers offense with Jaden Reed back and Christian Watson healthy is so crazy to watch. Really enjoying it. I can say a lot about, how I wish the defense had done whatever at the end, but in the end, it doesn't matter, does it? So it was fun. It was fun. I had definitely a few moments where my body did things that were out of my control in excitement.
That's what you want, right? That's
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You know what
look
I mean?
A little bit like one of those like inflatable car dealership blow ups, and that's
just
like,
yeah,
like I've been there. I like very excitedly punched an ottoman, and then I realized the ottoman was wood, and it was just not a good time. But in the moment,
Maggie.
let's see. We've got some comments already trickling in on YouTube. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, so happy to have you. It's so fun to go live. This is a good one to go live for, Maggie.
Yeah, I think this was the one. I'm stiff, and I just keep stretching, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It's just
how did you enjoy watching the game?
Oh, it was great. I think somebody on YouTube said it best in our previous show, the comments. They said that beating the Lions and the Vikings is business and beating the Bears is pleasure. And
it's personal.
As somebody who got harassed at the grocery store this morning, just trying to check out with my groceries by a Bears fan, it feels nice. It feels good.
My dad is here. He says we need better cornerbacks. Hi, Dad. Thank you. You're the only pessimist here, okay? Yeah. Okay, so let's start. For those of you who never get to see our, the back end of our planning for our shows, we usually come in and talk about, all right, what do we want to talk about? So, Maggie, what were the big takeaways from this game?
I was very impressed by, I know the defense giving up 21 points is not ideal, right? We're hoping it doesn't come down to a fourth down conversion, and I'm genuinely shocked that the Bears threw the ball there. I thought they would just run it on fourth down because they had seemingly moved the ball very well all day, but thank you, Ben Johnson. Thank you, Caleb Williams.
I know.
And Bears company. But we said it on the previous show. We thought it was going to come down to the wire because these are two good football teams. But it didn't feel like it was in doubt to me. I think the Packers just came out swinging first. And that's what I wanted to see from this Packers team. If the Bears had gone down the field and scored, I think I would have felt differently. But the Packers defense just kind of kept Caleb Williams contained all game. Like they had some really nice third downs, not to discredit them. Like I thought Caleb Williams made some big time throws with his arm, but there was never technically a moment in the game where I was like, oh shoot, here we go. Like it felt like the Packers defense was very much in control and the Packers offense was able to do what they wanted. It was nice to see a turnover on both teams, right? Jordan threw the pick early and you're like, okay, we said that was the key to the game is, being clean, protecting the football. And I didn't think it mattered a heck of a lot. I thought the Packers still, despite the turnover, played a really clean football game.
Yeah. The turnovers in this game were about like point in the game. At what point in the game did they come? And Jordan's was a very strange one. I don't know what he was seeing. And he, I think already in his post-game presser was like, yeah, bad read, ball came out weird, just wasn't at all what I wanted. But it was at the beginning of the game. And the Packers didn't really let it affect them at all. Like he still came out. They didn't change anything about the game plan. They still tried to push the ball down the field. They did push the ball down the field effectively. And the Bears came and the Packers turnover, the Bears offense turned the ball over at like the most key moment. of the game. So I think it was just like situational, because we said in our preview show, like, Bears take away the ball really well, and the Packers have to play a clean game to win. And they actually didn't need to play a clean game to win. They just needed to make the turnover battle even.
And I think that's why the NFL is so weird, right? Like, the Packers struggle against the Browns defense that played phenomenal in week 3. The Browns go on today to lose to the Titans. The Bears beat up on the Eagles, who held the Packers under 10 points. And like, I mean, we talk about parity in the league week to week, and the Packers beat the Lions twice. They tied the Cowboys, and the Lions go and dominate the Cowboys. Like, the NFL's fluky and the NFL's weird, and the Packers took care of business. And right now they're sweeping the division, and that's everything that you want. They beat the Vikings once, they beat the Lions twice, they beat the Bears. Now they travel to the Broncos, which is going to be a tough game considering how well the Broncos have played. Then you've got the Bears at Soldier Field, but the Ravens struggled today. The Vikings, to end the season. Like, this division is still up the grabs, and the Packers are doing absolutely everything that they need to do to be successful to win the division. And currently,
they're in first
place.
They're in first in the division. Funny how that happens. Yeah, the Bears went from down to the 7th seed with this loss. So yeah, this was a big game. Like, this was a big game for both sides. Let's talk about the Packers offense.
Okay.
Because they had 2 3-and-outs that were real head scratchers, but every other drive looked like they could pretty much do whatever the heck they wanted to move the ball down the field. Who do we want to talk about first?
On offense?
Yeah.
I mean, probably Christian Watson, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
9.
All right. So Turtles, pay Watson, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have talked ad nauseum, and we'll see what happens when Jaden Reed comes back, I think, because
he is back.
It's a sample size. That's what I mean. Like, when he has longer than 1 game's worth of film to put out there. But the real perk of this offense is that there's no wide receiver 1, and Christian Watson, this season, since he's come back, has kind of been like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's no wide receiver 1?
Oh, I heard there's no wide receiver 1. Hold my beer.
Excuse me, there's a vacant job opening on LinkedIn, and that's just Christian Watson.
In this economy, an open job? I got it.
So, yeah, I think that Christian Watson is positioning himself really well to go have a nice payday, especially.
He played this right, didn't he? With this, he took the contract not knowing what it was going to be like. He really bet on himself. He's like, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to come back, and then you're going to give me the bag. The Packers did something, or I should say Matt LaFleur in this offense did something that I love in this game, which is they used Christian Watson not as just a deep threat. They used him in
You
space.
can do that?
You can do that.
You can do that?
You can do where you can throw a slant to Christian Watson and he will take it to the house. And I love when they do that. He is such a mismatch, especially on undersized DBs. Not just in a size perspective, but from a speed perspective. Like, he is such an athletic freak. And when you give him an easy throw and catch and the opportunity for yards after the catch, he will get them. And it turned into a touchdown today.
I think that's what was so interesting about this Bears defense. And it's not to discredit them, but we've talked all season about how turnovers are so volatile. And the Packers have had defenses where they are living and dying by the turnover. And we said, if the Bears can generate turnovers, they are the best in the league, right? Like, you're giving your offense additional cracks at scoring points. Mm-hmm. However, when you can't live and die by the turnovers and you're not generating those turnovers, their defense was not that great against the run. They're not ideal against the pass. And you're forcing your offense into long yardage situations where the Packers were going to be able to tee off. Right. And that's exactly what we saw today. So I think, the Packers, outside of the 1 interception by Jordan, protected the football really well. And the Packers receivers were able to capitalize against the secondary. And that just made all the difference in the world because, again, turnovers are great. You always want turnovers on defense. You always want additional cracks at the ball. But that kind of goes to show you how the Bears have hung into so many games is when you have these additional 2-3 chances on offense, you're statistically likely to put up some points in those opportunities. And they didn't get those really today. And I
Yeah.
thought the Packers defense, despite being behind the 8 ball in some instances, and I know the comments, some of them want us to talk about the refereeing. We don't necessarily have to do that, but I thought by all accounts, the Packers hung in there and kept things interesting.
My comments on the refereeing is the Packers won no matter what. So I think when the better team rises above some calls, then it doesn't matter anymore. We could talk about it ad nauseum, I think, which we certainly texted about it good bit live, but that's for private. My thoughts about the refs. We mentioned him already, so let's talk about Jaden Reed being back. I had like low expectations. I was like, okay, he hasn't played since week 2. He's probably going to be on a snap count. And then the first drive, he gets 3 touches. And he wasn't like prominently featured, but he had some big moments. And it kind of makes me think like, was this a snap count? Because if so, regardless, I think he's going to be a problem, like a real problem coming back now with him and Christian Watson healthy. I mean, that almost never happens. We haven't seen them on the field together this season. So I'm excited about it. My dad asked earlier, no 13. So after his big game last week, no Dontavian Wicks, which I found strange. I mean, he didn't even have a target. Was this like there's too many cooks in the wide receiver kitchen, or is he injured?
Matthew Golden had 1 target. Romeo Doubs had 2 targets.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like the distribution. Like, I certainly would not have put, like, this is why I don't gamble, right? Like, nobody takes me to Vegas, but Bo Melton having a 45-yard touchdown, I would have been like, okay, yeah, sure, their corner, that they converted. And it just kind of shows you why they were comfortable releasing Malik Heath, right? Because you've got all of the depth in the world, and this is without Savion Williams, who they love to run these trick plays with. He's out for the game. Obviously, he's inactive, and then Bo Melton gets the 45-yarder.
Matt said at the presser that Wicks's ankle was hurting him. Okay,
which makes sense.
And like there's enough weapons. You don't need to force that. I played him on my fantasy team today, which was really unfortunate. But
I played Christian Watson, so
I did too in a different league. I'm fighting to get into playoffs in that league. Also, a good point. They were running a lot of 2 tight end sets. I mean, that's Matt's bread and butter is like these bunch sets, and then all of his plays that come out of the same look. Shout out to Luke Musgrave, who's like actually making a difference. Speaking of the tight ends, also John Fitzpatrick and Josh Wiley, tight ends 3 and 4, also had each a catch. So Jordan Love loves to spread the wealth.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to pop on the Vikings Commanders game and see Ben Sims getting a couple catches, and you're like, okay. Packers tight ends are just like floating around. But yeah, I think that Luke Musgrave is so close.
Yeah, so
to
close.
Putting it all together. Like
that big catch that was not a catch, but was a catch. Really impressive. I mean, that's what he's excellent at, right? He's very fast and he can stretch the field and you can use him in the seam. He's not Tucker Kraft. And I think they've finally realized that they should stop using him like Tucker Kraft.
However, when he and Kraft are on the field at the same time, that's going to be a lot of fun.
We've been saying that.
Okay, but now Luke Musgrave is finally like performing, right? Like he's doing a thing. Yeah.
He's doing the thing, the football thing.
He's doing the second round thing that you're like, aha!
Look, there. Contested catches with your big body and your speed. I'm so happy for you.
Fall down. That's like really exciting.
He didn't fall down. I mean, the bar is so low. Also agreed. Little turtle 623.
There's a lot of turtles in the chat. Just like
everyone's a turtle. The world is turtle. We couldn't have won this without Josh Jacobs. I agree. That man grinds out those yards. Every yard is fought for. What was his final stat, Mag?
It was let's see. He was 2 for 6 in receiving yards, and then he had 86 yards, 20 carries, 4.3 average, 21 yard long.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's like you said. I mean, like they're fought for yards. They're not necessarily flashy, but he does the job, and
right. Yeah,
every yard counts.
Every yard counts. We haven't even talked about our QB.
Somebody mentioned Toyotathon. You just can't beat Jordan Love during Toyotathon.
No, obviously not. And the Packers at home in December is a tough gig. I mean, that it looked cold as hell there.
It was like 7 degrees, yeah.
Gross.
We shoveled like 6 inches this morning, and all I could think was, boy, Bears fans should probably stay home. Probably shouldn't jump on the interstate. Packers fans can probably get through it, but I don't know. Bears fans, your cars might not make it. Probably shouldn't come up this way.
Okay, so Jordan ended the day with 17 for 25, 234, 3 tuds, an interception,
King.
1 sack. He took a sack. 120.7 passer rating.
Very good.
That's pretty good, I hear. That's pretty
good. Rumor has it. Rumor on the street is that is pretty solid.
No Matthew Golden, even though he was active. Thoughts?
I mean, I think it's just like the Packer way. I think he's integrated. I don't think it's intentional. Yeah. You know, I think it's just whoever like Jordan Love finds is the hot hand, and the hot hand continues to be Christian Watson. But I don't think it's intentional that like Romeo only had 2 targets either. I think it's just like going through his reads and his progressions, and Golden is probably not where he needs to be in those reads.
Right. Okay. I agree. All right, you want to flip?
What I really want to talk about is the handshake at the end of the game, because that thing lasted 3 milliseconds. Maddie was like, I'm gone. I'm over it.
Apparently he said it was nothing personal. They play each other in 2 weeks, so there's no point in lingering. And I'm like, Matt, no one believes you. No one believes you. Ben Johnson was talking so much smack, and you rise above. When they go low, we go high. Okay, defense. Okay, I'm going to start with this because I see we have some Bears fans in the chat, and I want everyone who is LaFleur is not a crybaby. You're annoying. I was about to tell Bears fans that the Bears look a lot more legit than I thought going into this game. Caleb Williams made some crazy freaking throws in this, like throws that I was like, really? Like they caught that? That was nuts. And we said it in our pre-show, like his ability to extend plays and use his legs is going to be, a huge factor. And it completely mitigated the pass rush. Completely. They got close, but no cigar, because he can escape and make plays. Every time he rolled out, it felt like a huge throw happened. So kudos. But he still ended the day, just by the way, with 19 for 35, 186. So not as many yards as you would think, based on like the eye test. I thought he would have thrown for more. 2 tuds, an interception, a sack, and a 76.6 passer rating. So
I don't know. I was raised to not say negative things about people or entities. So I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, I mean, I think that despite not having the sack total that you necessarily wanted or hoped with the Packers going up against this front, like the Bears offensive line, we talked about it in the previous show, like they were putting things together. They invested a ton going into the offseason in protecting Caleb Williams. He went from having like the highest number of sacks to one of the lowest numbers of sacks. And those are all good things. He's a second-year quarterback. You finally put him with a really nice offensive line. You've got a really good offensive play caller. Like, this is what you expect and you want
a good run game too. Right. A good run game. They have a good game on that. I don't understand actually on that last drive, like why they didn't just keep running the ball. I mean, the Packers could get a few like really good stops and then they would rip, a first down on the ground. And you're like, it was one of those days as in the second half. I mean, again, the defense looked insane. It just looked like they were going to shut this team down in the first half, and they made some serious adjustments coming out in the second half and made it a lot harder for them. And of course, second half, like you've been on the field, you're playing, you're tired. I think everything hurts more in the cold. Everything's so much harder in the cold. You kind of heard them saying that on the broadcast. So they made some plays, man. They made some plays. DeAndre Swift, 13 for 63 on the ground, averaging 4.8. Kyle Monagai, 14 for 57, 4.1 average. So, the ground game did the work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where I was interested going into this one. You know who the secondary is at this point, right? Like help is not on the way, but losing Devontae Wyatt last week, you're kind of wondering how they're going to fill that. Carl Brooks, I thought, had a really nice game.
Yeah.
We saw the Packers kind of active in workouts and on the waivers this week. Knowing that those guys, right? Knowing that those guys are not necessarily going to be like your day one starters. They're not going to come in there and all of a sudden like replace a former first round pick. However, they're going to come in and take snaps and rotate in. Nazir Stackhouse was inactive, so there were certainly opportunities. But yeah, to your point, we talked about it. Warren Brinson, I thought, had a really nice game. But yeah, despite like wondering what this defensive front was going to look like, I thought Quay Walker coming back made a significant difference as well. Your middle linebackers are playing really well. Evan Williams remains like the MVP of the defense to me. That man is everywhere at all times.
He is so good.
But
good. Again, should have had a punch out, but didn't, because apparently we don't know what a catch is anymore in the NFL.
I don't think we have for a long time, to be honest.
We have not. It's like a running joke in my household. Like, what is a catch? We just look at each other every Sunday. What even is a catch? I would say I am kind of obsessed with Evan Williams, and I don't know why he doesn't get more attention. Maybe the national media is starting to notice, but he deserves to be. Somebody got punched out in the Lambeau Field parking lot. That sounds like Packers Bears to me. Oh man. Okay. Am I giving up on score predictions for good now? Probably.
What I say, 27-24.
I just punted to Maggie. And I'm like,
and I have gone on record and said I will absolutely never in my entire life pick the Bears to win. So even in 2 weeks at Soldier Field, no.
Yeah.
Can't do it. It's against my DNA.
Maggie's so funny. Okay. What else do you want to talk about on defense? What else stood out to you?
There's some rent-free happening in the comments. And I just feel like,
go join your own team stream, my dude. You're going into timeout.
Chicago radio is just going to be really interesting in the next couple of days, and you guys can enjoy that. But we're having fun. The vibes are high here. We've got vibes are high. Everybody's having a good time in the chat.
Are we like worried about the cornerbacks? I mean, Nixon called game, but like there was some soft zone happening that I was like side-eyeing a little bit, where it felt like the Bears were just like kind of picking apart some of the empty spaces. This person has asked 3 times what GG with Nate Hobbs. Man, I don't know. We're not answering because we don't know. Okay. We have no idea.
Here's the thing. Like, maybe I'm a homer, right? Like, I live on the border between Wisconsin and Illinois, and I'm never just going to like give the Bears credit for anything. I try really hard to not do that in my existence. Although I think that they played a pretty good game, right? But I just think that the Packers defense, like there didn't feel like a ton of urgency, because it felt like they were keeping everything in front of them, especially in the first half. It felt like, had the Bears taken possession and gone down and scored, I think the game looks a little bit different. I think there's a little bit more urgency, but the fact that the Packers defense got to stop, like you and I have talked all season about how this Packers defense plays differently when they have points on the board. And when they're playing with a lead, I thought they were just able to tee off. And as frustrating as it is as fans to watch that and be like, okay, they're dinking and dunking, they're soft zone, you're letting them keep everything in front of you, like it didn't necessarily feel like the game was in jeopardy. And I say that because I was watching with Packers fans who kept saying, oh my God, what happens if the Bears score? And I had to be the voice of reason and say, like, not that worried about it. Like the amount of time that they were letting them take off the clock. And it's easy to say that now, right? Hindsight's 2020.
Right.
However, it just felt like the Packers defense was doing enough. And certainly that looks differently. Caleb Williams, you said it. He had some monster throws. There were plays that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to convert that they did. Call it luck, call it talent, whatever you want to call it. Like, I thought he played a really nice game, those conversions, but if those balls don't bounce that way, the stat sheet looks different, right? So I wasn't
Maggie
that
is
worried
trying
about it.
so hard to be objective, and this is her best attempt.
I'm
It's
being
so
really
funny.
objective.
You're being so
I
objective.
want
Call
Caleb
it
Williams to be
luck.
good.
Call it talent.
I'm just saying, some of those completions were bananas, and I can give respect to that. I thought that he played a really good game, but at the same time,
Yeah, he had some bonkers throws. I also think that eventually, I don't know if it's going to be this season, but it'll certainly be next season. Teams are going to figure out how to contain him.
Mhm.
And once they figure out how to contain him, he's going to have to figure out how to sit behind his offensive line and make throws under pressure, like inside the pocket. Because that's just something he can't do right now. If you contain him inside a pressured pocket, he cannot throw the ball, which again is very hard. But like, you see certain quarterbacks like Jared Goff and like Matt Stafford are like the ones that come to mind right now of like the ones doing it the best, where they just hang in there and just like take that fucking hit. Oops, sorry.
Perri, we're trying to monetize.
Sorry. Anyway, so he's gonna. This is next step. He has. Sorry, guys. In my real life, I have a bit of a potty mouth. He has taken a huge step since last season. There's just like still some things he needs to add to his game, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think, like, if you're a Bears fan, you should be very excited, right? I'm not trying to take that away.
No.
We talked about that we like when the rivalries are good. Like, it makes your football team better to win against good football teams. Last season, we saw what happened to the Packers, right? They went 1-5 in the division, and they did not look good in the playoffs. That doesn't do you any favors, right? If you go into the postseason and you can't beat good football teams. So to play against good football teams and then go into the playoffs and play well, like, this sets the Packers a heck of, like, they're in a better position than they would have been last season. So that makes a difference as well. So Bears fans have reasons to be optimistic. They should be excited about Ben Johnson. I would be. If I was a Bears fan, I would be excited about Caleb Williams. I'd be excited about the offense. I'd be excited about the offensive line. That said, Dodgers still won. So
they need, I mean, DJ Moore did nothing today. I mean, nothing. He had one catch for -4 yards. It was everyone else around him that stepped up. Luther Burden was their leading receiver. Who even is that? Is he a rookie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't like him. So,
okay.
Okay. I saw a couple comments I want to get to because everyone's here with us and I really appreciate it. So appreciate you being here too. Offensive line appreciation post. How much better are they running the ball behind Anthony Belton? Yeah. For those who are just going to be listening, Maggie's just like shrug shoulders emoji. It's pretty. I have a lot of thoughts. This is off-season conversation, Mag. I have a lot of thoughts about what they do with Jordan Morgan / their left tackle situation, but that's for another day.
I just want to know why Bears fans are all up in here whining.
Because they don't have any.
Calm down, guys. We're not going to talk about the refs. Please be so for real. Let's see.
What? Assisted us? Okay, you want to go to the stats? You want to go to the stats, buddy? Fine, we'll go to the stats. They have these, okay? Bears were penalized 4 times, gave the Packers 17 yards. The Packers were penalized 6 times and gave the Bears 55 yards. So tell me now who the refs assisted. Be so for real here.
Don't respond anymore. I'm not going to.
Wow. You need to go find your own Bears content creators.
Nobody wants to go live for the Bears. That's why they're coming over here looking for stuff.
Okay, let's talk about the division before we wrap this thing up. Packers are now 4-0 in the division. So they've beaten everyone once and the Lions twice, which gives them really, really good position to win the division ultimately. They're really in the driver's seat now. It's theirs to lose. And that's very exciting. And I know we talk about it all the time, but like they were 1-5 and like one blocked kick away from being 0-6 last season. So huge, huge, huge turnaround in the division.
That's the thing. If you guys are looking for, you're coming to the wrong podcast. We have been respectful of the NFC North repeatedly, and we've talked about the Packers' ailments going up against the division. So yeah, to be 4-0 this season is what's impressive, because last season we were 1-5. The Packers were 1-5, and that's why the turnaround is so impressive. And then you see, on Thanksgiving, the Packers beat the Lions. Then the Lions turn around and flip it on the Cowboys, and now the Lions are in a good position to try and snag that 7th seed. Like, this is the first time in many years that the NFC is as wide open as it is. And I think a really, really good football team is going to get left off in the 7th seed. Whoever wins like that quote unquote 8th seed is probably going to miss out when they could have gone into potentially any of the wild card games and won it. So really good football still to play across the entire division. So, we'll see how it shakes out. But everybody in the comments that wants to keep doubting the Packers,
keep doubting. That's fine. Okay, you are getting banned now for using a slur. Bye. So, Packers are in the driver's seat, 9-3-1. Still a lot of games left to play. A lot can happen. You just mentioned it's wide open, but also everyone is super close. Rams are the 1 seed. Packers are the 2 seed. How are we feeling post this win? Are we feeling like they're on the upward trajectory? Like, what's just final thoughts, I guess, after this win?
Yeah, I think final thoughts is a good way to wrap it up here. I think that where things sit now, the Broncos game is really tough. We knew that, especially going into Mile High. That's a tough place to play. Brandon McManus, little return party. He seems to look better, obviously, now that he's fully healthy. So that potentially could make a difference down the stretch. You've got the Bears at Soldier Field. That's going to be a really tough game, especially now knowing how this one turned out. Bears and their fans are going to want that one back. The Ravens, I think, are struggling. We saw how they performed against the Steelers today. Aaron Rodgers looked like vintage Rodgers. I didn't think in my life I would see him run for a touchdown again and do the belt, but here we are. It's like 2011 Rodgers. That was kind of fun. And then you end against the Vikings, who won today against the Commanders. So certainly, not a easy stretch for the Packers at all. The Bears have some really tough games coming up. The Lions have some really tough games coming up. So nobody is calling this, right? The division is not won by any stretch of the imagination, and that's what makes for good football. However, we talked about it in the pre-show, and we said that the winner of this game, it goes a long way towards securing the division, and the Packers did that. They got the job done, and now they're sitting at 4-0. They've got 2 division games left, but 4-0 looks pretty good, right? Like that's what you want to be. We saw what their record was against the division last season. So coming in being 4-0 with only a couple games left to play certainly puts you in the driver's seat to wrap up the season, knowing what the rest of the NFC North looks like.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, I don't think I can respond to that. Well said, Maggie. Well said. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. This was fun for the most part. Tough couple of games coming up, but I'm feeling good about the way they're playing and the way they're showing up. Denver's going to be hard. It's just like a really difficult place to play, but also just both teams' defense is playing out of their minds right now. Fun stuff. This was fun, Maggie. Did we like being live?
I don't know. That's the TBD.
TBD.
Catch me tomorrow.
We may or may not do this again. However, we like to switch it up. So if you want to see more live shows, let us know in the comments. If you come in here with negativity, we can, laugh it off. If you come in here and are derogatory, you're getting kicked out. So we don't have time for that. I love you all. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, just trying to vibe. We're just trying to vibe. Maggie and I are always about the vibes. And we want you to enjoy our content in the most open space possible. So, with that, go Pack Go, baby.
Go Pack Go. See you next week.
Go Pack Go.